And that is what we are fighting for, government of the people, by the people, for the people, not a government of the billionaires, by the billionaires, or for the billionaires. But it is not just oligarchy, as dangerous as that is. It's not just oligarchy that we are fighting. We are also fighting what is equally dangerous, and that is Trump's moving this country to authoritarianism. As some of you may have seen, Trump recently posted a statement that said, and I quote, "He who saves his country does not violate any law." What does that mean? It means essentially that Trump believes he can do anything he wants for any reason. He can ignore Congress. He can ignore the courts. He is above the law. And that's not just talk. That is exactly how he has been behaving. As many of you know, Trump, in violation of the Constitution and federal law, is attempting to suspend all federal grants and loans, and we've heard some of that from previous speakers. That means he has tried to block funding, and with some cases has blocked funding, for Medicaid, the Veterans Administration, Head Start, food stamps, homeless veterans, etc., etc. Tens of millions of Americans, some of the most vulnerable people in our country, were impacted by that decision. Fortunately, the American people have fought back, and the courts have stopped them from doing his worst. But as you heard, he is still trying and, in fact, is throwing out federal workers illegally and unconstitutionally all over this country. Unconstitutionally, he has dismembered agencies established by Congress. You can't do that, including USAID. USAID helps to keep alive some of the very poorest children and people throughout the world. That the richest person on earth is forcing children, the poorest children, to go hungry and unnecessarily die is a moral outrage. Trump has dismembered the Consumer Financial Protection Board, which has saved Americans billions of dollars from illegal corporate and banking activities. He has even taken control over the Kennedy Center and now wants to take over the post office as well. But it's not just usurping the power of Congress. He is undermining and challenging the role of the federal courts. I don't know if you've been hearing what Vice President Vance has been saying. And what he has been saying is that despite 150 years of American jurisprudence, Trump has the right to go forward regardless of what the courts say. In other words, according to Vance, the courts do not have the right to stop unconstitutional acts of a president. But it is not just in this march toward authoritarianism, it is not just usurping the power of Congress and the courts. What authoritarians do is they go after all forms of dissent, starting with the media, in an unprecedented way. Unprecedented. He has forced ABC to a settlement with him for a TV story he did not like. Meta, which owns Facebook and Instagram, has also had to respond and settle a lawsuit that he brought. He has sued CBS's 60 Minutes for billions of dollars for another story he did not like during the campaign. And incredibly, he has sued the Des Moines Register, your own paper here, for the crime of doing a poll whose results he disagreed with. And now his FCC is investigating PBS and NPR. So it is obvious what he is doing. He is attempting to intimidate the media. He is telling them that if you write a story or if you do an investigative piece that I don't like, we're going to sue your company for billions of dollars. So all over the country, the people who own these media, small papers, whatever, they say to their reporters, hey, you better think twice. Don't do that story. We can't take a lawsuit. Even if we win it, it'll cost us millions of dollars in the courts. That is what authoritarians do. Brothers and sisters, we are also dealing with a new phenomenon, which is the big lie. I will not shock you to tell you that politicians occasionally lie. Always have. But what you're seeing now is something that we really have never seen, and that is the big lie, saying something that is totally outrageous. All right? Trump continues to argue that the 2020 election that Biden won was stolen from him. A big lie. The January 6th, 2021 insurrection was, according to Trump, a day of love.